On this episode of the Empty Netters podcast, what in the world has happened to the Metropolitan Division?
The Boston Bruins are in much more trouble than they or their fans realize.
And guess who won gold at the World Juniors? USA, USA, USA!
And Tyler Toffoli joins the pod again to give us more of his TOFF hot takes. Let's get it. Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM. I am absolutely juiced for this episode.
Dude, that's great news because, and I don't even know if you could hear it in the last ep, the Monday ep, but I'm sick as a dog.
Yeah, you getting better?
I'm getting a little better, but I'm just gassed, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just gassed. And
It'll take it out of you.
You'd think I wouldn't be, but I am. And I think I could sleep for a week.
Dude, have you been sleeping enough, though?
Well, yes, because here's the thing, Dan. My Whoop, this guy right here, says sleep score, 100%. 100%, 100.
Really?
And then it says recovery score, 50, loser. And I'm like, okay, so what do I do? Get a 200% sleep score? No, it doesn't go that high. I could sleep for a week and it would still say you're a loser.
Well, they know that you're sick.
Yeah, but it's like, so what? So what?
You need to replenish with vitamins, liquids.
There's no way out, dude.
There is a way out.
I'm just gassed.
You got to keep that sleep at 100, though. And I don't mean that in the way that Gen Zers say, keep it 100. I mean, stay at 100% on your sleep.
I didn't even check my recovery last night. Let me look at it right now, dude.
I'm going to do it, too.
Let me look at it right now.
See, this is what's... I got 8 hours and 2 minutes of sleep last night. That is fucking gas.
That is gas.
But then my recovery score is 66.
Mine's 67.
And I'm like, dude,
like that is some...
I'm not even sick.
That is some bullshit, dude.
Do you think that all of these different scores from these different companies, Fitbit, Whoop, do you think it's all bullshit?
Yeah.
But why? Why would they lie to us?
Just to make money.
But on what?
Dude.
Like they want us to buy more of their services to like help us figure out what's going on.
How do I get better? How do I get 100? I got to learn more. I got to collect more data.
Yeah.
Can't make bricks without clay.
True.
And it's like at gyms where they bump up the scales.
They make you weigh more in gyms.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. But the women's locker room. The women's locker room, they bump up the scales.
Because they're like, shit, I got to come back.
And the men's locker room, they lower the scales.
Because they got to get gains.
Yeah.
Damn. They also have nice mirrors in gyms.
Yeah, to make you look you like this. Oh, my God.
People love the way they look in the gym, so they want to come back.
I'm fucking fly, dude.
That is real. It's very, very real. Man, it's just, I feel like this, you're trying to get better, you're trying to get healthier. It's just like the January typical shit.
Yeah.
Everyone in January. Dry January.
Oh, dude. Dry January is the softest shit I have ever seen.
Come on.
And dude, a lot of my friends are doing it, and I'll tell them to their face, you soft.
Yeah.
And I'm not even trying to be like a hardo, like, oh, dude, you got to drink all the time. You don't have to drink all the time. But you don't have to quit drinking for a month to, like, pseudo-prove to yourself / brag that you're like, I took all of January off, as if that had any lasting impact on your health when you could just drink a little less or whatever. And it would be basically the exact same thing, and you wouldn't be the person at, like, the backyard hang on Saturday that you're like, can't. Sorry, can't. I'm doing dry January. And I'm like, sick. Thanks for ruining your time and literally all of ours.
It's such a tough take. Like, we sound so anti-sobriety right now.
It's ridiculous, dude.
It's completely tied into resolutions, right? Like, everyone's like, oh, I ate so much, I drank so much over the holidays, I got to do dry January now. I am definitely tired of, like, listen, if you are a sober person, that's great. Genuinely, I support that. But the people who can't handle the holidays, you soft.
You're soft, dude.
It's a couple of weeks of extra eating and drinking, and that should be celebrated.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Enjoy your life.
It's so fun. And now it's like, okay, yeah, we're back in a routine. You don't need to go full stop smash glass, press in case of emergency. I need to stop drinking and eating everything because I ate a little bit too much in the last 2 weeks. It's like, shut up, dude. We all did it. Calm down.
Yeah.
Everyone just calm down.
Sorry, the best 2 weeks of your life have to be followed by the worst month of your life every year.
We all are so, we talked about it last episode. We're all so mad to be back in the offices and doing life again. Everyone just wants to be on vacation. That's just the facts of life.
Yeah.
So January already sucks because we had a nice holiday break. You were back with family, friends, doing great stuff like eating and drinking whatever you want. Everyone's already miserable.
Yeah.
Don't make it more miserable for yourself by being like, oh, I can't have a drink, can't have food if you want it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everyone calm down. And it adds into, I was thinking about this. Could you imagine having an early January birthday? How much that would suck?
Yeah.
Imagine this past weekend. It's the 6th of January right now when we're recording. Imagine if January 4th, Saturday, it's your birthday.
Bro.
And you get back to wherever you live and you hit up all your friends. You're like, hey, it's my birthday.
Let's rip it up.
Would love to do something fun.
Everyone you know goes, sorry, doing dry January.
People go like this, dude, I've been so bad over the holidays. I can't drink, can't eat. Or I'm doing dry January.
Yeah.
And you get together and what? Eat a bunch of fucking kale?
Yeah, thanks for ruining my birthday.
Horrible.
Not to mention, dude, like you missed the New Year's birthday. And to be clear, if you're trying to make the NHL, it's pretty sick to have an early January birthday. Congratulations.
That's not what we're talking about here.
But if you are trying to celebrate your birthday and you don't even get the New Year's babies thing where they're like, we get an automatic party, you know? You're coming off that. You're coming off the no holds barred gluttony of the holidays.
Yep.
And then you go ramp it back up one more time. Dan, you know what? I actually think the earlier in January, the better, because you might just catch me still. Like this year, you caught it really nice because it was like Saturday.
I get what you're saying.
You know, January 8th. I'm like, dude,
January 8th is bad.
Good
but
day.
like, I don't know. I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who's like still skidding on January 4th, especially if it's like the weekend before we're going back to work for the first time on Monday.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, no, dude.
That's
like,
what I mean. Like the first or second is your best bet. Cause
maybe.
I'm like, yeah.
But like, I
Keep
feel
it
like
rolling.
January 25th, you might get someone who's like, fuck it, dude. I did it. Like I did.
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like end of
Yeah,
January.
you're right. It's just the middle.
Yeah. And end of January, you definitely get the people who weren't doing something like dry January. They were just like, I need to dry out for a second.
Yeah.
They've dried out. So they're like, all right, let's rock. But dude, early January dinners, get-togethers, it's just like, it's a drag, man.
It's a drag.
It's a drag. People need to lighten up.
Dude, it's Friday night.
Lighten up, dude. Let's get into some hot ice. All the crazy shit going on in the league. Listen, we've got some stuff to catch up on, some stuff that's happened. First off the bat, I want to talk about our boy, friend of the pod, Frankie Vetrano. Signs a new extension with the Anaheim Ducks. This pumps me up for a couple reasons. Last year, Frank came on the pod. We were talking to him off the record. We were like, dude, you got 2 years on your contract. What are you thinking?
You've been moving around a lot.
People have been talking a lot about you and Trey. He was having a monster year, ripping in all these tucks. The question was, does
Rags
he
wanted
possibly
him
get
back. Remember
moved?
that?
Yep. Oh,
Rags
yeah.
wanted him back bad.
They wanted him bad. Bruins wanted him bad. We wanted Frank to say, think he's a perfect fit with the Ducks. He's loved Anaheim since he's been there. Boom. Over the weekend, 3-year deal, $18 million contract. Now, similar to Seth Jarvis, we've got an interesting contract on our hands. Very, very interesting. Frank signs that 3 years, $18 million. That, for the not quick math people at home, is $6 million a year. However, Frankie Vetrano has deferred $9 million of his contract that will kick in 2035, at which point he will receive $900,000 a year for 10 years. So that $6 million annual cap hit actually goes to $4.57 mil AAV. That is basically, we'll call it $1.5 million saved on the cap for the Ducks.
And don't forget, and baseball fans that watching Shohei and Mookie
Yes.
do this, you can collect that salary, that deferred salary, that $900K for 10 years starting in 2035 on a state tax where you have a permanent residence in 2035 and beyond. So he's not, well, we'll see, but he has said, he's like, yeah, so I don't have to get popped on California state tax where I'm currently playing hockey.
Like,
if I just have a house in Vegas by 2035.
Yep.
When I'm not in the league anymore.
And spend 6 months and a day there.
Exactly. So it's saving the Ducks money on AAV, and it's saving our boy some money in taxes.
It's also one of those things like, think about it. You're making $4.5 million a year. You paid. That's incredible. Like setting up your family, your money. That is plenty of money to survive very, 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 very comfortably. When you retire, what do? Do you get into broadcasting? Do you get into podcasting? Do you get into coaching? Frank goes, I have a job for 10 years that pays me just under $1 million a year. It's
pretty sick.
It's interesting. Frank Saravelli talked about this, and he was like, I don't love this for the player. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
I think this is brilliant.
The reason people don't love it for the player is the dollar itself, just due to inflation, is worth more. It's like when you win the lottery. If you win the Powerball, they're like, take it in the lump sum instead of the slow payment, because like $100K, I'll use Frank's example, $900K right now is more than $900K in 2035.
Yes.
So you're like, oh, you're losing money with inflation. But I'm like, I don't know, the state tax thing is a massive wrinkle. So if he plans on doing that, then, which I assume he is, then you kind of make it all back there anyway. So you play your cards right, dude, he's just fine.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I think you're from 2035 to 2045, you're making just under $1 million a year. Like that's pretty good, dude. Like
that's all right.
That is pretty good on top of all of your career earnings as well. So huge congrats to our boy Frank. Love the move. The thing that I really wanted to mention is this is going to get banned eventually.
Oh, you think banned?
I think the league's going to cut this out. Because we've talked about it, right? Like, if you had a certified stud, this is obviously not allowed, but I'm saying, like, there was a world before this was written into the league rules and regulations. If you had a certified stud, let's say Austin Matthews, and I gave him an 8-year deal, there are those who are like, dude, why don't we get, like, let's say I give you, just for argument's sake, 10 mil, 8 years, $80 million. And I'm like, here is 79 mil in
deferred.
Not even deferred, in a bonus.
Oh, yeah.
And like we talked about that, like again, this is not allowed, but your AAV would be on the cap would be like $900K.
Yeah.
Not even. And this is obviously not that, but it's like, that's saving that's good money, dude. Like that's, if you have 5 players who do that, that's a ton of cap that is freed up for another player. So I just wonder if this is going to get banned eventually. But the bigger thing is, with Carolina doing this, now we have Anaheim doing this. You have some huge contracts that are about to be paid out. Kirill Kaprizov is the first one that comes to mind. You've got all this money that's about to be freed up from Suter and Parise. So many people with Minnesota are like, it's all going to go to Kirill. If Krill is down for something like this, like you could save some serious cash. Like it's interesting.
Dude, I just don't know enough about this, but I haven't seen anyone do it in football or basketball. I don't know if it's happening there and I'm just oblivious, but I had only seen it in baseball till it's happening now in hockey, and baseball doesn't have a cap. So it's like, and I'm sure it helps them with the luxury tax maybe or something, but it's interesting that you're like, okay, cool, the Shohei can take all those millions out of California state tax, and congratulations. But when it's in a cap league, like the NHL and NFL and NBA, it gets really interesting, because you start being like, I can pay the guy what he wants, or a competitive rate, or more than other team, or as much as other teams, but he's deferring it so my cap hit stays down. That is actually massive game-changing shit. So
massive.
I don't know if it's going to get banned, but we'll see, because it has huge implications.
It absolutely does. It's super interesting. Like you've got to imagine that more teams are going to do this, and it'll just be interesting to follow. Let's talk about the Ottawa Senators.
I have a couple Atlantic teams I want to talk about here, and I was about to say a few bubbles and one not bubble, but actually they're all bubble Atlantic teams.
They're literally all bubble. Everyone we're about to talk about is a bubble playoff team in the Atlantic.
Let's start with Ottawa, and all I wanted to bring up was Ullmark hasn't played since December 22nd. He left in the first period of that game. They are 1-4 since then.
Yeah.
He was on an absolute tour.
Oh, dude, like Vezina numbers.
He tore.
Like he had a slow start and completely turned it around.
Yeah, dude.
Like multiple shutouts
that they were begging for, dude. He's week to week now, they're saying. And maybe I'm skewed by the Bruins med staff, but I just always feel like NHL, it's a little bit worse than they say always, unless you're Ovi. And Ullmark being week to week I'm like, that turns into months. Well, month, to month plus pretty quick. I hope it doesn't, but it could. And in my opinion, that ruthlessly murders any playoff hopes they have, which was getting exciting.
Yeah.
But if he's out,
they're toast.
You are beyond dead.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. It's there was like right before Christmas, I was like, fucking hey, dude, Sens, like the Sens are going to make the playoffs. Yep. And I said, we said on our Christmas Day pod, I was like, the Sens are going to be, we've been begging for it, the 5th team in the Atlantic to make the playoffs, and it's only going to be 3 from the Met.
Yeah.
And now it's interesting. And listen, if he comes back, this is one of those fucking brutal things where with a goalie especially, I'm like, do not you dare come back until you are 100%. Yeah. Like the week-to-week stuff scares me. I'm like, don't push it. Because goalie shit is just like, if you're nagging all year long, you are dead.
Yeah.
But if the longer he waits out, if they keep on this run, they just fall out of the playoff race. And it's insane because things like we said at the beginning of this year with our preview, the Sens, no more excuses. You have to make the playoffs.
Yep.
Which is brutal because you look at those top teams in the Atlantic, but I'm like, no, dude. Like, you guys are ready. Your young boys aren't young anymore. Like Brady, Pinto, Norris, Stutzla, like you guys got to be in the playoffs. So it's savage that this has happened because now, perfect transition, look who's coming, dude. The Detroit Red Wings.
And dude, here's the thing.
Talk about a new coach bump, dude. Jesus.
Here's the thing, dude. Back to when was he fired?
And any Canadiens fans listening right now, before you lose your mind, don't worry, we're about to talk about you two.
Checking the date. That Lalonde got fired.
While you do that, the current state of the Atlantic: Toronto Maple Leafs in first place with 54 points, 41 games played. Florida Panthers in second place with 50 points, 40 games played. Boston Bruins, the most fraudulent third place of all time.
Yeah.
45 points with 42 games played. Behind them in fourth with 5 less games played, 37, is the Tampa Bay Lightning with 42 points, 3 points behind them, 5 games in hand. The Ottawa Senators with 38 games played, 4 games in hand, 40 points, 5 points behind. Then the Canadiens, 39 games played with 39 points. Detroit Red Wings, 39 games played, 38 points. So the Detroit Red Wings are on a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah, Lalonde fired on the 26th. They lost 4 in a row. Then they won 4 straight.
Yeah.
They have a 4-game homestand coming up against Ottawa, Chicago, the Kraken, and the Sharks.
And every single one of those should be won.
That's what I'm saying.
Ottawa is the Ullmark. Yes, if Ullmark's not playing and you're Detroit, you look at that game and you go, we absolutely have to win this game.
And it's like a vital, I'm competing against you directly.
Yeah.
So the Wings, and dude, they're so fucking Jekyll and Hyde. Like, they're under 500 to be very clear.
Oh, yeah.
So, but like, they're coming, but they're under 500. You have to be on an 8-game win streak
100%
at the end of this homestand, or I am not taking you seriously.
Ultimately, you have to go 3-1.
You literally must go 3-1, but you need to go. You should go 4.
You should go 4-0. Agree. The Montreal Canadiens, dude, a team who is exactly 500, is 7-3 in their last 10.
Yep.
And what like the double wrister we gave to Ottawa a week ago,
I know, dude,
we're giving to Montreal now.
Yep.
Like, there's a part, I've said a million times, I said it yesterday on Hockey Talk. Canadiens fans who are getting so fired up, I'm like, breathe, dude, just calm down. You don't need to make playoffs this year.
I know, dude.
But ultimately, with the state of the Boston Bruins, you have to think you are in contention for that possible 5th spot. I don't think there's any world where Ottawa or Montreal or Detroit is jumping Tampa, Florida, or Toronto. Now, they could jump Boston.
Yeah.
That's tough for Boston Bruins fans to hear, but it's very, very possible. And these teams, I genuinely think Detroit, Montreal, Ottawa, and Boston are all in the exact same spot, dude. Like, you are all fighting for the same shit, and Bruins fans who probably are ripping their hair out right now listening to this, I'm like, dude, wake up.
Wake up,
Wake
dude.
the fuck up. Like, it is
minus 20 goal diff for Boston.
minus 20 goal diff, dude. Minus 20 goal diff for Boston. 4-4-2 in their last 10. It's just brutal. So we'll switch over to the Bruins, but quickly just say Montreal looks fucking nasty.
Yes, it's going to be really interesting, that whole stretch there. And I give the Habs a ton of credit because I think you and Tomer put them 7th in our predictions, and the Sabres 8th. You killed the Sabres.
I think that's right.
And I was like Habs 8, Sabres 7, but I was like, it's right there. And I said the same thing. I don't even need Montreal to go hard this year.
No.
And then when Laine got hurt, and who else got hurt before they even started?
Reinbacher.
Oh yeah, and I was like, see, it's whatever. And look at him now, dude. Like this is a picture perfect season for the Habs right now.
Laine's back, absolutely buzzing. Cole is buzzing. Suzuki is a perfect captain. Lane Hutson's a fucking weapon.
Nasty.
Like, their goaltending has been great. They are so. Can you believe, dude, that in the year of our Lord 2025, you and I are celebrating the Montreal Canadiens? Dude, they are undeniably.
No choice.
They're undeniably fun.
No choice.
Going on to the Bruins, however, like we said, sticking in the Atlantic a little bit. It is time for the Boston Bruins fan base to acknowledge what this team is. So many times on Twitter, we have talked about the struggles, secondary scoring struggles are very concerning. So many people are like, well, they're 3rd in the Atlantic still. And I just mentioned it. Dude, wake up. The games in hand is insane.
Yeah.
Like, Tampa is passing you in a matter of days.
Easily.
And now you have all these other teams who are trending up while you are trending down. There was a bit of a new coach bump with Sacco. It's gone.
Yep.
Brutal loss to the lowly New York Islanders when you finally score some goals.
I know, dude.
It's frustrating. People are shitting on Sway. Absolutely. Sway is not having the season that he wanted to have. He's not having the season any of us wanted him to have. But we believe in Sway. He's going to pull it together sooner or later. Truly believe that. And it's frustrating. 2 of his recent losses were 2-1 games.
Yeah.
2-1 and a 3-1 with an empty netter where he had .935 save percentage. It's like, dude, you got to score. You just mentioned it. Minus 20 goal diff. Like, you were fucking, dude, you were losing. You were not making the playoffs with that goal diff.
Where are they in goals for? Keep going.
It's absolutely savage, dude. And something that we talked about, and don't worry, some of the Bruins fans who think we shit on the Bruins, particularly their drafting. We talked about the 2015 draft all the time. People were like, enough talking about it. But you look at teams like Dallas. Look at Dallas. Look at Minnesota. Look at Winnipeg. These teams that are doing great. I just named a bunch of Central teams. But, those are teams that are playing unbelievably. And you look at their roster, and so many of their huge heavy hitters are drafted players. Dallas, I look at Jason Robertson, Otter, Wyatt Johnston, Logan Stankoven, Rupe Hintz. Like, these are guys that are drafted in top 2 rounds that are, or beyond, that are massively producing for the team. Massively producing. Then you look at Washington. People talk about the retool and the rework of Washington. Yes, you bring in Chychrun, amazing. You bring in Roy, amazing. I look at guys like McMichael and Protas who have been given the patience and they've been given the coaching and development to now they're top 4 in points on that team.
They're sick.
Unbelievable players. The Bruins, let's leave 2015 in the past. Something you and I went down, and I'll do this very quickly.
But, dude, before you even go into this, because I just wanted to say, the 2 things I saw recently, one was on, I think, Slapshot, on Slapshot's IG, but it said, and it was like, things fan bases don't want to hear.
Yes.
And one about the slide about the Bruins was something like, the Bruins have the worst 5-year outlook in the NHL. And then the other thing was on, I think it's on Hockey Writers, but it was on another one of the hockey accounts that was players that are property of NHL teams at World Juniors this year. And it's like, the Preds had 8 guys, the Blues had 7 guys, and it counts down all the way down to one team, the Boston Bruins, with 0. Only team in the NHL with 0 players.
0 players at World Juniors.
So take those 2 stats and compile it with this, what you're about to say.
Yeah. So that's a very important thing to note. The Boston Bruins, 2017, first round, took Urho Vakanainen. Urho Vakanainen is currently on the New York Rangers. Now, he was traded with a first-round pick and John Moore for Hampus Lindholm, who's on the team, and that's great. He's hurt, but that is a good move. However, after Urho Vakanainen was Rob Thomas, Jason Robertson, Otter. You also took Swayman in that draft. That's great. Not that bad. but you would want more from Uro. But you did get Hampus. So, okay. 2018, no first-round pick. 2019, selected Johnny Beecher. Johnny Beecher is a fourth-line player. And what's crazy is when he was selected in the first round, they said we want him to be a third, fourth-line player. That feels insane to use your first-round pick on that. After him, Shane Pinto, Bobby Brink, Alexei Protas, who we just mentioned.
Lighting it up.
2020, no pick. Took Mason Lohrei in the second round.
Great pick.
People talk about that, by the way. Mason Lohrei, significant contributor. He has 16 points right now. You know who has 19 points? Charlie McAvoy.
Yeah.
So Mason Lohrei is playing phenomenally.
Yep.
But after that, Alex Laferriere,
Yep.
selected by the Kings. Unbelievable season. 2021, Fabian Lysell selected. Has played one NHL game. Right after Fabian Lysell, Wyatt Johnston was selected. Matty Nyes was selected. 2022, no pick. They took Matty Patra. Matty Patra is currently in the AHL. After him, Lane Hudson, playing right in your backyard.
Lighting it up.
2023, no pick. Easton Cowan was selected with the pick you were supposed to have. 2024, last year, Dean Letourneau selected. You know who was selected after him? Cole Hudson, playing right in your backyard. Dean currently has 2 assists in 15 games with BC.
Oh, dude.
I won't harp on this because Bruins fans you always lose your mind. You're like, quit dogging on the front office. Dude, you know why you don't have secondary scoring? You know why you are ass up against the cap? And you know why you're minus 20 diff? Is because you have no one in your pipeline.
This happened to the Pats. All those Bruins fans, I assume, are also Pats fans. And you're watching what happened via a long run of bad drafting. That's where the Bruins are headed.
Correct, Chris. It is just, again, we will move on. But Bruins fans, I need you to hear this. That is since 2016. You got McAvoy. Great. But since then, the only player that you have drafted that's like contributing on this team realistically is Sway and Lohrei. Beecher's, I love Beach.
Yeah, no, me
But
too.
he's a first-round pick who's playing fourth line.
Yep. No, it's crazy, Dan. Like, that is just, it can't happen.
It cannot happen. It's an 8-year window.
And bro, yeah.
And you like you mentioned, 0 players at World Juniors. 0 players in AHL that you're like this, we got to bring them up for a spark. You brought up Lysell. You guys win the game. He's +1, and you send him right back down.
Yeah.
Merkulov, a UFA, or an undrafted signing. You gave him 2 games in which he had a point. And it's just like there is nothing in the future. And we bring it up just to say, like, the Bruins are struggling right now. They're minus 20. They have 0 cap space. People talk about trading Trent Frederick. I love Freddie.
Yeah.
What do you think you're getting for Trent Frederick? That clears up what, 2 point something mil in cap space? What's Freddie making right now? Like, that doesn't free up enough cap space to bring in this mystery center that they're missing. Like, these guys are all, the guys that are going to make changes are all making $5 million or more.
Yeah.
Talk about Mikhail Granlund on San Jose. He's a UFA at the end of the summer. He's having an unbelievable year. That's $5 million.
Yep. And dude, you're just praying for free agents.
Yeah.
You know,
and you're going to what?
It's a dangerous game.
You're going to trade a first-round pick again? No way.
Yeah, right.
You gave up Olmark for peanuts just so you could get back in the first round, and you take Dean Letourneau, who could be a monster next year. But you would think that maybe with the 25th overall pick in the first round, maybe after 1 year at BC, he would come up.
On the most stacked BC team I've ever seen.
But Dean, you're like, oh, I mean, you're going right back to BC, dude.
Yep.
So, crazy shit. We just broke down the Atlantic. Let's get into the Met a little bit.
Yeah.
I had some thoughts on the Metropolitan Division.
Dude, the Met is I would say that the Central, I remain confident, is the most powerhouse division and is going to be the Wild West.
Yeah.
But the Met, dude, has just been shaking out in such a fun way. The Caps, I give them so much credit, are legit awesome. The turnaround has been mind-blowing. Because, dude, I was the #1 guy banging the drum to keep the Caps out of the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And it was a waste of my time. They wasted my time last year in the playoffs. Didn't want to see them. Picked them to finish fucking like 7th this year.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't believe in the things they changed. I don't know if the young guys have it. Ovi might be on the last legs. All of that was fucking wrong, dude. Bang. Dunce cap. Moron. Idiot. Caps are firing, and it's sick. I'm having a blast, dude.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even be allowed to, but I'm having a blast watching them. They're coming. Can't wait to see them in the playoffs. After that, it gets I have a ton of question marks.
It's interesting. Caps are the third best team in the league, behind the Knights and the Jets. After that, the Devils and Carolina pop up at 8-9. And then after that, all the way down at 19th is Pittsburgh, which is hilarious to me.
Dude, don't sleep on Pitt.
I'll continue. I'll sleep soundly on Pitt. But the bigger thing is, dude, like, you have the Caps, Devils, and Canes. Not what we thought. Caps are fucking electric. They're my favorite team this year, without question. They're so fun. What has happened to this division, dude?
Dude,
like, I brought it up to you the other day because I was like, the fact that the Rangers have completely imploded is astounding.
it's amazing.
Utterly astounding.
I am, yeah.
They have completely imploded. They're in 7th with a .474 win percentage. They're minus 10 goal diff. Worse than that, dude. The New York Islanders. What is your excuse, dude?
Dude,
as we used to say, what's your malfunction?
What's your malfunction?
Dude, like, this team is 15, 18, and 7 with a minus 20 goal diff. They are so incompetent. It's beyond my comprehension. The talent on that team. There are so many guys on that team that I would love on my team. How are they this bad?
I don't know, and I think, well, I'll say this. They aren't this bad, or they shouldn't be, if you look at the roster, literally.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm like, you should probably be ahead of Columbus or something like that. But
you should be ahead of Columbus. You should be ahead of Philly. You should be ahead of Pitt. You absolutely should.
I agree with the first two, but my point is this, dude. You know what? One thing about this pod is I feel like and I'm sure you agree, if I ever have a take on a team that I just think I'm seeing it correctly, I'm seeing the board correctly, and I voice it, and then the fan base gets annoyed with me and then thinks I hate their team, and I'm like, I don't at all.
Yeah.
But the pushback makes me dig in on my take harder because I'm like, I feel like I'm right. And I was doing that with the Rangers last year. And I was kind of doing it with the Islanders last year. And again, I just said how wrong I was about the Caps.
Yeah.
I did it with the Caps too. I'm a moron. But the Rangers and Islanders last year, watching those teams, I was like, these teams aren't very good. And this doesn't make any sense that the Rangers are winning the President's Trophy and the Islanders are like even in the playoffs.
Yes.
And now,
which I completely agreed with you on the Rangers. I know I apologize, Rangers fans. I did start the cockroach thing, and we sold a bunch of T-shirts, but
they were cockroaches last year.
They were cockroaches, which led to me being like, they are not this good. They just can't die.
Well, dude, Dan, I was ready to say it was actually even the more of a perfect metaphor than you thought.
Yes.
In that they weren't this majestic beast. They were vermin just being unkillable. But I was like, the whole time you're just been a little insect.
Yeah.
And now they just are, they're like, what happened? We're insects. And I'm like, you've been insects the whole time. Dude.
Yes, correct.
And they're probably not, I'm going to take that probably out. They're not this bad either. I'm not trying to like dance on either New York team's grave and be like, you deserve to be in last. I just felt like they were mediocre teams, both of them. And now the pendulum has swung the other way, averaging them out to the mediocre team that I think they are. And to quote the late, great, he probably wouldn't be dead, the alive, great Shane Falco. He'd be alive, right?
Yeah,
he'd be fine. He'd be living on his boat, dude. To quote the great Shane Falco, quicksand is a scary, dangerous thing, and
greatest fear.
They both are experiencing quicksand right now.
They are. But I mean, dude, it's so funny to me. We've talked about blow-ups, right? Like the Rangers are. It looks like they're flirting with a full blow-up. If they can find a trade partner for Kreider, and then if Kreider gets traded and Zibanejad's like, I'll wave, like we're clearly we're done. We're not playing for a cup right now.
Yeah.
And then he waves, and you can find a partner for him. That is a full blow-up. You build around Shesty, Hedel, Laugh, Perreault, and begin again.
Yep.
And as I've said, good job.
Yeah,
Genuinely,
totally.
I'm like, good job. That is a good rework. Flyers or like Islanders are interesting to me, dude. Like you've got Barzal, you've got Nelson, you've got Horvat, you've got Dobson, and you've got Pollock and Pelech. Like these are, and you've got fucking Sorokin. Mm-hmm. I'm like, do you just exist in last place with all of these guys on your team and do nothing, or do you go, okay, We got to start over again. And do you trade all these guys? Get first-round picks. Get prospects. Like, what do you do?
Dude, do you believe that the Rangers, if they don't trade anybody else, they can make the playoffs?
No, I do not.
Really?
With the Atlantic, actually, there's part of me that's like, I don't know, dude. They could easily just like click in one day. But
that's what I'm saying. They can't catch Ottawa.
Per last year, I'm kind of like, they aren't that good. Like, this team was overperforming. Now they're not. And I don't know. Shesterkin's out. Like that.
Yeah.
Like, they might be in a hole with Shesterkin out. They're 3-7 in their last 10. So I don't know, but the kids played really well against Chicago, an AHL team, and they won 6-2. Like, I don't know if that's things turning around a little bit or if that's just Chicago.
The teams ahead of them, and it's all fucked as games in hand and shit, but it's really tight for the second wild card.
Yeah.
The teams ahead of them are Detroit, Philly, Montreal, Columbus, Ottawa, and Pitt.
Like, they have to catch some of them.
Like, you could catch all of them. Like, none of those teams are good.
So yes, I think they absolutely can make the playoffs, but I think they're a first round team. Like, I think they get bounced in the first round for sure. And that with the expectations of last year and going into this year, is that what you want, or do you want to retool?
And by the way, free fall into a sick pick. Like, they're gonna fucking, like, all of a sudden
dude. All
of a sudden they're gonna
again.
Oh, we have the third pick.
They when they had the pick for fucking Laffy and Kakko, which obviously didn't work out. I was like, you don't deserve these. That's picks, what I'm saying, dude. Like, but this is how you do it. Like, stay relevant. Like, realize when something's not working, make some moves. And I feel like, I mean, I won't waste any time on Pitt. You know exactly what I think Pitt should do. But Philly is the other one. Columbus is like, dude, Columbus.
Finish your thought.
Columbus Blue Jackets. Like, you guys in 5th place right now, like at 500. What a bunch of fucking beauties, dude. Like, everyone in that organization, everyone on that team, like, you guys are the best. You're just doing it all perfectly. Philly, though, has the second worst goal diff in the division.
And the 3 worst goalies in any NHL room I've ever seen. Oh, the way they're playing.
Correct.
Yeah, so, like, the fact that they are where they are.
Philly's tough because, like, I look at Tippett, I look at Mitchkov, I look at Brink, and I'm like, this is exciting. Drysdale, I'm like, this is an exciting team.
Yep.
But there are guys that I'm like, should you trade people? Like, what are we doing here? You know, like, Konechny is so fucking good and should be on a sick team. But I think Konechny's like, no, dude, I just extended because I'm like, I want to be here. I want to do this. But it's like, with how good they were at the beginning of last year and then fell off, I think I maybe expected them to be more, like, I would flip them with Pitt right now. I'm like, you guys should be like 500 or just a little bit above.
Yeah.
But their goaltending is
killing them. Dude, for me, you asked me what happened to this division. I'll tell you exactly what happened. And dude, you need to check. I guess we'll see how the year ends, but you need to check yourself because your attitude about Pitt is if they miss the playoffs by 1 point, you go, see, I slept soundly on them and they didn't deserve my awakeness. They didn't make it. But I'm like, no, dude, they're currently in the wild card and they are going to be flinting in and out of it for the rest of the season.
And I'm still right. Even if they make playoffs, I'm still right.
No, because I think that's what we're talking about. Like, you felt like the Penguins were dead and they couldn't ever be a wild card team.
No. That's not what I said. I think they're going to miss playoffs and they should miss playoffs. But I've also I think they're going to. I've never said I think there's no chance.
Okay.
I have said if they make playoffs and sneak in as a wild card, they're going to get piss pumped out of the first round immediately, probably in 4 games.
Correct.
As they should.
Yep.
Which to me is you are wasting everyone's time, dude.
Yep.
Like, I know that they want to play the loyalty card, but I'm like, dude, if your franchise, again, I'm sorry to even talk about this again, but if Crosby is like this, please do not ever, or don't even begin to ask. I'm not going fucking anywhere. I love it here.
Yeah.
Then I'm like this, okay. But if I'm the GM of that team, I'm like this.
You're killing me.
You are killing me, dude. Yeah. Like, you are literally setting us up for misery for the next 10 fucking years. Because you're just going to be this, just miss playoffs or just sneak in and get bounced. And then you are signing up for 10 years of obscurity when you have a golden opportunity with 3 or more players that you could easily trade for first round picks and set yourself up brilliantly.
Dude, Sid lived long enough to see himself become the villain.
Yes.
Everybody hates him now in Pitt. Get off the team. You're killing the future of the Penguins.
You are destroying the Penguins. We're going to be fucking sold to Quebec City soon. Fucking insane.
God damn. But Dan, this is what I was going to say. Here's the difference. In the Met, you want to know what happened? Some teams are having fun and some teams aren't. The Columbus Blue Jackets are just having fun out there, which is why they're 500, which is their literal ceiling.
Yeah.
But it's because they're having fun. And Zach Werenski's the man. And the Rangers are having a horrible time. Every time they step on the ice, they're like this. I wish I wasn't here. I wish I was anywhere else but the MSG ice. And that's why you are 18, 20, and 1.
Yeah, correct. Unbelievable. Let's talk about the World Junior.
Come on.
World Juniors, we got the final. Last night, Sunday night, we saw USA go to overtime again with Finland.
Again, dude.
But USA prevailed. Unbelievable game. Finland all over USA to start the game.
Dude, the
Holy
first
shit.
10 minutes was a bloodbath.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
It was
Absolute
insane.
bloodbath.
It was crazy, too, because I think I got caught. Obviously, I start paying attention to the World Juniors when the World Juniors starts, and it's a really fun tournament. It's actually an awesome thing. And if you are a hockey fan listening to this pod and you don't watch World Juniors, you should change that about yourself immediately. Just the passion, the excitement on the kids, it's incredible. Good hockey too. But so coming in as it's starting, everything I'm reading is like Canada sucks, true. And then USA is probably going to repeat first time in program history and they're the favorites.
Yeah.
So, and they weren't in the group with Finland or Sweden, and playing Sweden last year, and I just kind of was like, oh, Sweden's going to be nasty, and Finland's will be good, but I don't care. And even when Finland clipped us in the group or in the round robin or whatever, I was like, whatever. That's just like, didn't play the best game. And then to see them get to the final, I still had my guard down. I was like, USA is going to roll. And that first, and we actually had a dinner party last night that we had to attend. So it was one of those awkward, like, everyone there is there to be social and have dinner and enjoy each other's company. And Dan and I are like, could we throw on the World Junior game?
I performed like an absolute jackass.
So
I was just like,
we got the game on
and fucking reporting the game.
Yeah, terrible. Like sitting in the room by ourselves.
The fucking worst.
But the first 10 minutes, I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm glad we're not going to watch this game. So U.S. goes down 1-0. Hagens ties it on a nice hustle play, like tip, rebound, jammed it in.
Oh,
it was
fantastic!
Tons of effort. First period finishes 2-1.
2-1.
2-1. We leave for intermission, or not leave, but just like leave the room.
Yeah.
And then by the time I come back to be like, let's go watch a little bit more of the game, it's 3-1, and I'm like, holy fuck, we're gonna lose this game, like straight up.
It's brutal.
Gets to 5 minutes left in the second. Dan and I jumping in and out. And at this point, we're sitting down for dinner, and I go to the TV's blaring in the other room. We've all sat down, and I'm like, I'm such an asshole. I should go turn the TV down at least. And as Dan and I walk in to hit mute and like turn the computer off, because obviously the game's not on any TV channel on Earth, so we're like mirroring the laptop. Cole Hudson comes around, it's already 3-2.
Well, Sabota had made it 3-2.
Which I missed. Yeah, and then Cole Hudson comes around, Hezzy, push to the middle, pipe and in. Dude, Superman cape. And Dan and I come back like fist pumping. 3-3, let's go, baby. So fired up. And then third period, ice completely flipped, Dan. Completely flipped. It was a bloodbath the other way. I was actually terrified that about 3-on-3 overtime, because it just felt like the boys were dominating 5-on-5, that I was like, you have to get this done in the third period.
Yeah.
And then the 3-on-3 overtime, that was a nightmare.
Do you like how Ryan Leonard and Cole Hudson are Caps prospects?
Yeah, dude. Pretty gas.
Dude, it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. What a game. What a tournament. How do you feel about 3-on-3 overtime?
Hate it. Just because it's like Stanley Cup, dude. I don't need or want the gimmick. I love 3-on-3 overtime in regular season. I love it. I just don't want the gimmick in a gold medal game.
Completely agree. It's stupid. Awesome tournament. Canada, shout out and loved Canada. We talked about last episode. Like, I love you guys.
Yeah.
And feel really bad about the bullshit that's going on with Hockey Canada.
It's great.
Like the politics going on with the roster and the coaching decision, awful. Love to see USA getting back-to-back golds. Let's talk about David Carl, dude.
Okay.
This man is the best coach I've ever seen.
Yep.
Literally all he does is win. And everyone on Twitter today has just been talking about, like, Rangers need to offer him the bag. So-and-so needs to offer him the bag. If I am David Carl, he has said, by the way, inside sources, he has said, I will not leave Denver unless someone fucking pays me out the ass.
Yeah.
If I were him, I would never fucking leave.
Yeah.
I would Coach K myself, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You're living in a sick fucking city, in one of the best states in America, coaching one of the best college programs in the world. You don't have to deal with contract issues with players. You just coach up these young players. You're a national title contender every single year. You get a raise every single year. You've just got the best setup going.
Yep.
Why would you ever leave?
Dude, the only reason he would ever leave is he wants to chase down a Stanley Cup, or he gets paid out the ass, or as you're kind of seeing with this old guard and obviously in college basketball is way bigger than college hockey, but this old guard of college basketball coaches getting run out of town, the NIL shit. It just changes what it was.
Yeah.
You know? So they're like, if he's like, you know what, now I am dealing with contracts for these kids.
True.
I might as well just do it in the fucking NHL.
I just don't think college hockey yet is going to get that way while he's coaching.
Yep.
So I'm like, just live it up.
Yeah.
Like,
if
enjoy
he gets run
this.
out of Denver when he's 72 because of the
Great.
NIL, that's like all good.
Absolutely perfect.
Agree with you big time. And then last shout out for me is just Teddy Stiga on the golden goal.
Oh, dude.
Dude, what? First of all, was that Cole who passed that? I think so.
No, Zeef, dude.
Oh, Zeef.
Fucking absolute
doper.
beauty.
Sauce.
Fucking UFO
Bro.
Across three lines.
Yeah,
right on the tape.
across three time zones, dropped on the tape.
So nasty.
And dude, how sick is it that if you're Teddy, Preds prospect, second round, 55th overall to the Preds, Boston native, playing at BC, get called up to this World Junior squad, know you have a chance to win gold, comes in and doesn't have a tuck all tournament, and you're like, damn. I wanted this to go a little bit better. So I'm having a great time. It's all about the team. Name on the front, not the name on the back. But you're like, damn, would have been nice to get one while I was here.
Yeah.
And then to have that one bang home, go slide on the knee, heartbreak, Selly, as you're like, dude, it completely changes your experience, like your memories of the trip in the best possible way. All-time moment for the kid. Couldn't be happier for the boys.
Could not be happier. Before we move on to some fun stuff, I want to give a quick shout out. So, a little while ago, we got a message from some Netters fans, Michael and Sammy, awesome people, reached out to us. They're Rangers fans, and Michael told me that Sammy has been, for over a year and a half now, battling with cancer. She found out she was diagnosed with medulloblastoma, which is a form of brain cancer. Last year and a half, she's been in and out of dozens of rounds of radiation, chemo, all of the brutal things that people with cancer go through. But thankfully, Sammy's on the mend, road to recovery, cancer-free, absolute beauty. So, Rangers, their Hockey Fights Cancer Night is January 7th. So, time of recording tomorrow, time you guys are listening to us yesterday. Playing the Stars, really cool event that a lot of teams do. Rangers are doing on the 7th. And we helped get Sammy and Michael set up at the game, and massive thank you to Molly Nottiff at the Rangers, who's been working with us, helping us out, getting Michael and Sammy set up at the game. Going to get a message up on the Jumbotron. They're getting a swag bag, get to go to the game, watch the Rangers play. Hopefully they get a win. So hopefully by this time they'll have beat the Stars. But just an example of how awesome this community is. The Netters fans, hockey fans, Michael and Sammy, just like so cool, such an amazing story. So proud of them, so proud of Sammy for the battle she's gone through and getting on the mend, and couldn't be happier to see that they're going to the game and are going to have a great time. But just tons of love to Michael and Sammy first and foremost, but also huge shout out and tons of love to Molly with the Rangers and the Rangers organization. Just doing stuff like this is so cool in the league, and so happy that we could help in the smallest way to just make sure that they get there and have a great time. So, again, the game has happened by now by the time you're listening to this, so I hope it was a fucking blast.
Yep, and wishing Sammy all the best in everything.
Absolutely. Just keep crushing it. Now back for the first time in the new year, we're kicking it to our segment with the San Jose Sharks, Tyler Toffoli.
The one, the only.
Quick pause in the podcast to talk about our partners at BetMGM. We've got unbelievable stuff coming to you right now. NFL playoffs is cooking. We've got the Four Nations tournament coming up in a couple months. All of these unreal things that you can bet on. Don't sleep on Champions League football coming up as well. You need to sign up for BetMGM right now so you don't miss any of the action and you don't miss any of these unbelievable props. We've got so many cool giveaways going on with BetMGM right now. We've got the empty net bets that are live that CP and I are hammering all the time. We're playing bingo live on our YouTube. You can make sure you sprinkle in some action like anytime goal scores on that. Play bingo along with us. What you need to do is sign up for BetMGM right now with promo code NETTERS, NETTERS. Like we've said, BetMGM has you covered with all of the best picks, all the best parlays, and every sport you could ever imagine. What they're also doing is this. If you sign up right now with our promo code, you can bet up to $1,500 on anything you want. And if you lose it, you get all of that put right back into your account by BetMGM. What other book is helping you out like this? The answer is none of them. BetMGM is the best across the board. You need to sign up today so you don't miss out on any of this action.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
What's the deal, dude? Like during Christmas, throughout your time in the league, dude, does anyone like head home back to their hometowns, or do most guys kind of stay put?
Yeah, some guys went home. I know. So our last game before the break was in Van, and some guys went right to the airport after the game. I know Smitty went back to Boston. Ty went back to Toronto. Some guys kind of went back, and I did it one year. I think I surprised my mom at home, and it's so much travel when you're on the West Coast, like California. It was like, because you're back home, kind of entertaining, being with your friends and family, and then all of a sudden it feels like you wake up and then you're already on your flight back home. So it's like, it's one of those things where you just, I stay, but I was more tired doing that than, staying and all that, just from the traveling alone,
Dude, I always have a dream of like in Ted Lasso, like, are any of the boys who just stay put, is there any huge group that gets together of like 8 of the guys doing Christmas together?
Yeah, I know. In LA, we would always go, I think we'd go to Quickies. We'd go over to the Carters, I think Christmas Eve. So, whoever's kind of around, everyone's invited everywhere, especially if guys are single and stuff like that, you don't want them to be by themselves. Yeah. And if their families aren't here, So everyone was invited. I know Ruda and Vanacek, they came over on Christmas Day because they had nothing going on. And so they just came over. We hung out for a while and then back to work.
That's fucking
That is
awesome.
so sick, dude.
Dude, it's like what we talked about with like Friendsgiving. Like it's almost, family time's great, but it's almost more fun, dude. Like you just get the boys together, snapping around.
Who did Quickie make a prime rib back in the day?
Well, his wife's a really good cook, so Jackie would make. I don't know if she would make a prime rib, but her Thanksgivings were always incredible. Like she always went full tilt the entire time, It's just like you walk in, it just smells unbelievable. You're just like, you're waiting around for the food, and then all of a sudden, like the food, she says it's ready, and it was just a free for all for whoever can get the food first, almost.
Yeah. That's so good.
So fucking good, man. I absolutely love it. Dude, going to New Year's, we were just talking about the Winter Classic. I am super curious. If you're not playing in the game, do you guys watch? Like, do you care, or is it nice to have New Year's Eve off after your game? Because you guys played, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think I turn it on for a little bit, but I don't really watch a lot of hockey during the season anyway. It's almost like I'll throw on like a period at a time sort of thing. And but as we were just kind of saying before this, I read online that, it didn't get the best reviews, but in my opinion, it's always tough having the game in a baseball stadium. It's hard to see, and not that it's easy to see in a football stadium, but I just feel like the setup is better at football stadiums.
Definitely. It's the same shape. Pretty simple as. But that is a great note. Like, that's something we've talked about. But are there things, like you've skated on some of these outdoor rinks before, from a player's perspective, are there any things that stand out to you guys when it comes to the Winter Classic that would make it better from a player's perspective, whether it be what day the game is, what the pregame is, how it's promoted? Like, what are the things that you guys as players talk about that could improve it?
Yeah, I think it was you guys that tweeted out them being the only game playing, and I do like that idea because it just brings more attention to it. But from the player standpoint, I think they do a pretty good job now with the ice and all that. I know the last one I played in at MetLife, the ice was awesome, better than some of the ice during the season.
It was fucking freezing that
dude,
night.
Dude, that was the coldest fucking day ever.
Well, it's actually funny. So you guys are always cold, or like the fans would be really cold, but the bench is almost too hot. Because they had the heaters
That's
going.
Right.
So I remember we played at Air Force, and I was too hot. I had to stand in the middle of the benches almost, because that's the only spot that didn't have the heaters.
That's so funny. Yeah, dude. The thing that sucks about the baseball stadiums is it looks so dope. Like the overhead pictures and the shots when you walk in, and it's like Wrigley, the Ivories everywhere, Fenway, the Monster, just like the rink being in the baseball stadium looks cooler. than in the football stadium. But then when you're actually watching the hockey, it's worse.
Oh, dude, 100%.
That's what they're fighting against.
We've talked about it. It's like there are times where you're sitting in that stadium and you're looking at the Jumbotron, not the field.
Yeah.
And that is a problem.
Unacceptable.
But for the most part, like, you guys love it. Like, if you're in the season and you were playing in the Winter Classic, you're buzzing, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's almost more fun for the fans or for the family, because they come, they get to skate on like the day before, and I played in 3, maybe 4 of them now, 3 for sure. But like now that I've played in it, it's like, okay, Kat loves to do the skate the day before, and, you know, they take all the photos and they do all that stuff. Where for us now, for me now, it's kind of just like another game almost. It's cool. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing. They obviously put a lot of work into it, but you know, at the same time, you're usually playing against one of your rivals, and if you're a playoff team, it's a game that really matters. And then, you know, you guys said it was raining that day. Like, what if it's snowing? Like crazy. Like you need to win the game almost, and it's snowing. You're
blizzard.
Like, okay, it's like, what are we doing here, sort of thing. But I think it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I think it's more kind of for the family to enjoy it now as well.
Dude, how about both coaches getting gassed before the Winter Classic this year? Like,
unbelievable,
dude, because you know what I mean? You're like planning with your families. You're like, well, we got Winter Classic this year. That'll be awesome. You're like, just kidding.
Yeah.
Neither of us are going to be there.
Well, I think I was telling you guys the outdoor game with the Kings at Dodger Stadium, I was up, you know, majority of that year. And then they sent me down, and I'm like, oh, like, I'm not going to make the outdoor game. Like, that sucks. Like 3 days before, they called me back up. And then I didn't end up playing, though. I got scratched, but at least I got to, you know, do the skate, like, practice and
do a rip
all
around.
That stuff.
Dude.
I was also like 21 or 20 years old, so I thought it was like the coolest thing ever.
That is so sick,
dude. What do you guys think about this? This idea just popped into my head. What if the Winter Classic was end of the regular season? The 2 last place teams in the game play at a predetermined neutral location Winter Classic to decide who gets the first overall pick.
Whoever wins gets the first pick.
Yeah.
Loses. I was like, what do you mean here? I mean, that actually sounds kind of funny, but I don't know if the players, the guys would want to do that.
Dude, you're right.
Put some stakes on it.
No, so true. The players are like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I'm so done with this season.
The season's finally over, and now it's like a super important game.
Dude, here's the other problem, Dan. It's fucking May. It's like it's way too warm out everywhere. It's way too hot, and we just watched the two bad teams play, and it's a bad product. So,
dude, true.
I don't want to do that again.
True. Okay, I'm gonna keep rattling around.
Dude, how about this, Dan? Bonus game. Fuck no. I was gonna say I was gonna try to make it home ice for the Stanley Cup final, like an East-West team. Winner of Winter Classic.
Like kind of like the baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball All-Star game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
it's
interesting.
All-Star game vibe. That's interesting. I don't know. It would be kind of savage. Like the 2 teams that make it to the Stanley Cup, they have to play one.
Yeah. They're like, no, dude.
It's like add one more game to the 24 you have to play.
Exactly.
And just grind through.
Put all those injuries on blast for one more game.
Stats don't count.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Do you have any dream venues in your mind that you're like, that would be the sickest fucking Winter Classic ever?
Not really. I mean, I think playing at MetLife last year was really cool in my opinion, and that one was awesome. That had to have been one of the better ones that they've had because it was loud. For us, it felt sold out. I don't know if it was. I know the Rangers one was for sure sold out, but for us, it was awesome. They had the Joe Bros starting before. I'm pretty sure there was like 5 or 6 of us watching the concert before the game. I can say that now because we won, but we're out there, we're like watching the show. We're like, wow, these guys are awesome. Like these guys, and then you look at the clock and you have like 5 minutes to tie your skates and get ready and go for warm up. But I think MetLife was really cool. The Air Force one was awesome too. It was just, I know they had trouble with people getting in and out with, there was literally only like one road to get in and out, and it was just like stopped. So half the people didn't even get in.
Yeah.
But that was also a good setup too.
Yeah, we were talking about
that one was awesome.
Yeah, we were talking about non-NHL cities and like would people travel? Like, so for example, if you did it at the Kansas City Chiefs football stadium and did, 2 like I think that would be sick. And I know they were just in it, but like the Blues or whoever's close to KC, I think they would still travel to that game.
Oh, for sure. Hell yeah. I mean, like awesome. people travel all over. I do wonder, I mean, like some of these college football stadiums would be elite. Like
Yeah,
the Big
the Big
House
House
was
was
so
nuts.
nasty. So that would be sweet. I would kill
I
to
know
see
it'd be
that.
cool. A couple of my buddies played at Notre Dame, and they said that playing at Tennessee was one of the coolest
Yeah.
stadiums to play in. It was just like loud, and I think everyone wears orange, so it feels like everyone's on top of you. And he said it was the craziest stadium that he played in.
Dude, that's a great point. Remember, was it last year the NC State club game?
Yeah,
Well, they all the college teams played too. Yeah.
Like that was, and they packed that stadium.
Packed
like it
it.
would be, maybe like an ACC or an SEC college stadium, and be like this. We're bringing an NHL game to one of your stadiums. Like
Yeah,
they would like those students would probably pack the shit.
Yeah,
out
they
of that
would,
place.
dude.
Like,
They'd
just
that
be electric.
would be electric.
Well, I mean, it'd just be a huge party for them too, right? It's just-
yeah.
Dude, exactly. Which, bro, that is so. I've learned now that, and it's not hard for you guys because you're playing, but the Winter Classic. This is a message to all fans who might go to one someday. The Winter Classic is all about the build-up outside the rink before the game.
Yeah,
more
vibes.
than it is the game. Because like we've just been saying, you can't really see, but there's like shit outside, fan activities and all that stuff, and it's just such a party. Like it's actually a really fun party to be at. That was money.
Yeah, we got to have more.
Yeah, it was cool. When we were going into to MetLife, we saw everybody tailgating and everybody
dude.
with the jerseys on. The food was cooking. We're like, it actually looks really fun out there. Maybe we stop in there.
Yeah, grab a dog, dude.
It was sick. We were doing that hat trick trivia shit where we were standing around interviewing all of these drunk people with barrel fires and their tailgates, and we were freezing our dicks off. I was like, this is awesome. I wish I had a drink, though.
Well, dude, that was funny because like the New Jersey crowd were like, we look like media because I'm got like this NHL badge. I'm doing the show, so Dan and I are walking up to people being like, "Hey, will you jump on this show with us?" And they'd be like, "No, only if you take a shot." And I'm like, "All right," and just like hammer the handle in front of them, and they were like, "Wait, what the fuck, dude? Are you drinking?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, come on, it's a party."
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Our poor producers were like, guys, pull it together, pull it together.
Fuck, that was awesome.
Dude, looking at the schedule and the standings right now, it's like New Year. You look at it, we're halfway through the season. What is post New Year's and Christmas? Like, is there a noticeable shift for all of you guys? Like, all right, second half of the season here, like buckle in, let's go.
Yeah, I think the way it feels for me at least is after Christmas until the bye week or the All-Star game, whatever you want to call it. It's always like the biggest grind because you're coming off the Christmas break and you get the 3 days off, and then for us, like we jumped right back into a back-to-back, and it's like, holy, like you're sore already.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So then it's almost like you're looking forward to the bye week, and then after the bye week is like when everybody is like really grinding, whether that you're in a playoff spot or you're in first place or you're in last place. It's like that's always when everybody's really grinding, especially for the teams that aren't going to make the playoffs, because guys are trying to stay in the lineup and play. And then they're having all these young guys kind of in the lineup and playing, or like they're signing college free agents to get ice time. So you want to keep playing well, obviously, because you don't want to, lose any ice time or anything like that. So from now to bye week is, in my opinion, the biggest grind of the season.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that, dude.
Yeah,
Because in my mind, it's like right after All Stars, because it's like, okay, now it's just all gas. But I totally hear you on this such a unique little pocket.
Totally.
Right now to early Feb, where you're like, all right, just get me to the break.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask, like, for a team like you guys are at the bottom of the standings, like, is it a little more relaxed? But that just kind of answered it. It's like there's
the great point about the young kids getting called up.
such a good point. Like that is a time where you could lose your job. Like you could lose your spot on the line. I didn't think about that. That's huge.
Yeah. So and I think after the bye week, that's when, like you were saying, it's all gas, but that's when it's like the most fun, because it's like every day. You're not really practicing. If you're like a playoff team or like on the verge, you're literally pretty much just playing games the entire time. So it's like, it's all pressure, but that's what you play for. You play for, playing those really important games and winning those games. And that's always the best time, because, everyone's pushing, everyone's, it's pretty much playoff hockey, in my opinion, right after the bye week.
Dude, what do you think? So there's some cool stat that's like, after the first 20 games or something, for the most part, that playoff picture doesn't change that much if you look at it throughout the years.
Yeah.
But obviously, more than 16 teams right now believe they can make the playoffs. So how many teams around this time of year, Toff, are actually like, we're probably out? And how many are like, no, dude, we're still going to battle?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like a few, but in my opinion, like you were saying, like we're near the bottom, but like our meetings every single day are like, you win a few games, you go on a streak, and then all of a sudden you're like, you're like kind of in the mix, or you're like not that far off. So it's like every single meeting's extremely important, and the way that at least our outlook is, we're trying to win every single night. It's like
Yeah.
we're not going out for, guys aren't just going to get their cookies and score a goal or, get a couple assists. It's like, we're trying to win games. And the last two games, especially the one against Jersey, we scored with 20 seconds left or whatever it was. And it was electric.
It was.
The room was,
Fuck yeah.
We were fired up, and like, the rink was packed. It was full. It was loud. It was, it was a lot of fun. So I think, I mean, in my opinion, everyone is, still trying to win games.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
I mean, have to be. You make a good point, and you obviously don't wish injuries on anyone, but even like look at the Rangers, they're struggling, and then Shesterkin goes on IR. If you're another one of those teams in the Met, you're like, that
We could
is
get-
a
that's my
significant
spot,
chance
yeah.
to take that spot. You know,
I mean,
so
bro,
you're
the
right.
fucking Blues were in dead last at
Yeah.
Jan 1, the year they won the cup.
Yeah.
So it's like you
Yeah,
can get
dead
you get
last.
hot. You get hot, and it's like you can still plenty of time.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely crazy. So yeah, do you think kind of on this same topic, was thinking about post bye week, post maybe trade deadline, is that when it really tightens up, where obviously you're trying to win every game, but guys start looking at the standings and like every point matters. Like you're looking for home ice, you're looking for the number one seed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it already
Every
tough?
single
Because it's
point,
not
it's-
like you're not standing watching yet in the beginning of the season. But is it after Christmas you start standing watching?
I think honestly, it's after bye week.
Back
Yeah.
to bye week.
And
Yeah.
when I was in Calgary my last year, I think we missed the playoffs by 2 points, maybe or something like
Yeah,
that. And
I
it was
remember
like every single game, before the game, you're like the TV, what the one game's on. I can't remember who we were chasing. It might have been like Nashville or something. But like you're like, oh yeah, they lost. Like we need to win this game, and then we wouldn't win, and it'd be like, oh shit, like that was our chance. Now like, we have to win the next game. That's when, like I said, that's the best hockey, because you're stressed. You're just playing. You're literally, if somebody's not going that night, at least for us, like you weren't going to play. It didn't matter who you were. There was a couple games where, normally I'd play, 16-ish minutes. Like I was playing like 10 minutes because I wasn't playing well.
Yep.
Daryl was coaching to win. You know what I mean? So it was like, super stressful. But I'd say after bye week is whenever you're like kind of like scoreboard watching, and every point matters. You lose in a shootout, you're like, oh shit, we only got 1 point, but we needed that 1 point sort of.
Yeah. Right. Silver linings. Yeah. Fuck
Dude,
yeah.
it's fucking huge. It's so it's funny. It's like I feel like we get through this holiday season, you get the Winter Classic, and then you kind of rub your eyes in January, and you're like, oh shit, it's like very important hockey from this point on.
Dude, it feels that way
It's
for us covering the league. Like we always joke that everyone's like, oh, hockey season started in October, but we're like, it actually starts at Winter Classic. Like that's when we're kind of like launching into a lot of big events and a lot of really serious hockey. So it's kind of interesting to hear the grind starts for you guys now too. Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, for sure.
Shifting from the grind, dude, it's time to give you the floor for TOFF takes.
Oh, baby. All right. So I was thinking about this one, and I'm going to keep it in the sports world.
Oh,
I'm going to go with, and this could be controversial, I'm going to go with one of the LA teams that's going to win the Super Bowl.
Whoa, dude.
whoa, dude.
Wait. That is
I'm feeling good
unbelievable
about
take.
them.
Okay,
And obviously we're taking two teams here, but
Still, that's incredible odds.
Hold on, time out. TOFF 2 for 2 on completely blowing my mind.
Same,
of
dude.
Unexpected
Same,
TOFF takes.
same.
Like I was not only was I not
this is
prepared
just me
for
too.
yeah, I was not prepared for football, but this is a hot take, dude.
Which do you lean either team, or are you like I like them both equally?
I mean, I like the Rams better, but that's why I said both teams, because I like I like their roster, and I obviously with their coaches that came in, they did a good job, and I just feel like the Chargers they've had such good teams, and they always like miss the playoffs because their kicker misses a kick or like something like that. And it just doesn't feel like that this year almost. So like that's why I kind of like both teams, and then obviously with like the Rams, McVay, and just like the way that like they're coached and the way that they play, I feel like they can kind of play any type of game. They can run a gun or they can kind of lock it down too.
Dude, here's why I love this take, bro. Harbaugh was at Michigan, knew he'd been cheating in college, and he was like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go to the NFL. Immediately turned the Chargers around. And, dude, J.K. Dobbins, the running back who had such a sick year, like missed the last 2 months and is now back and fresh as lettuce. And I actually think it's run the ball season, dude. And the Chargers actually could make a good push here. Who do they play first?
I don't know, but I was just looking.
I'm going to check this.
Both teams have plus 3,500 odds.
Dude,
we got to hammer this, dude. We got to hammer this bet.
I love this take.
We've got a 10.
That's a little outrageous.
Yeah, dude. This is a hot take, Toff. We've got a 10-7 team and an 11-6 team that he's picking over the Chiefs, over the Lions, over the Bills. Like, this is fucking...
Dude, they're good squads, though. The Chargers are at the Texans, which is so winnable.
Yep.
I love that. The Rams...
Got many.
Oh, they're at home, though, because they won the division. But I forgot they're at home. That's a great call. They got the Vikings, though. That's a tough game.
Oof. Tough.
Vikings in LA.
That is tough.
But dude, if you get by the Vikings,
you win one, you get hot.
You get hot, dude.
Don't let us win one, dude.
Matthew Stafford's been there before, dude. If the Rams win, dude, if they get by the Vikings, they're probably gonna get like I guess who's the 1 seed? They could get the Lions, but they'd probably get like the Commanders, Bucks.
Weirdly enough, I feel like the Chargers have the better.
Me too. When he said this, I was like 100% Rams, and now looking at it, I'm like the Chargers. That's crazy.
Like the Chargers are going to have to play the Bills or Chiefs or both at some point.
It wasn't supposed to be easy, dude.
If one of these two teams win, could you imagine
if it's both?
If we have a Chargers Rams Super Bowl, Toff is just going to be sitting there like dude.
Oh, I'm gonna be laughing.
Counting my money.
I feel like we have no choice but to sprinkle some action on this.
Dude, this is 100% happening. That is incredible.
Plus 3,500 for both.
That is incredible. We must be able to get. Actually, I don't know, but we got to bet on both, 100%.
Absolutely.
Do you know any of the boys on that team from your time down here? It's all different. It's all turnover, I guess.
No, not really. Not really. I don't think.
Did you ever claim is one of those teams your team? Like, who do you root for in the NFL?
Good question.
I'd say I want to say the Rams just because we went to a lot of those games, but then like people ask me and they're like, oh, like who's your team? And I say the Rams, and they're like, oh, because they win the Super Bowl, like blah blah. I'm like, no, I lived in LA and I was going to 4 games a year when I was there. You know what I mean? It's almost like I wanted to say like the 49ers because I went to 4 games this year, but this wasn't ready yet. You know.
Where's the bowl this year? New Orleans.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's New Orleans, dude. Super Bowl Sunday is your first day off for break. So
I know. Trust me, I know.
Tom.
Oh, dude,
I know.
And you're home, dude. 3-game homestand, Super Bowl Sunday, first day off for break. Rams, Chargers. You're telling me we're not going to watch that together?
No, we absolutely have to. Dude.
That's insane.
We have to watch the Super Bowl together no matter what now.
God,
at
dude,
this
that
is
is
ridiculous.
incredible. Dude, I love this. I'm in love with this pick.
Me too.
I'm in love with this pick.
In true Toff fashion, closing it out with a fucking scorching hot take.
Oh, dude.
That is fantastic. All right, I love it. All right, dude. Well, another great appearance by you, and again, like I said, just another beautiful take.
That killed me, dude.
Yeah, you're the best for joining. Thanks, brother. Thanks as always to Toff, the beauty.
It's my guy.
Now we're gonna get into Beer League Hotline, and remember at the top of the episode when I said I was very excited for this episode?
Yeah.
This is why, folks. We did a countdown of our 10 favorite clips of the past year through Christmas leading up to New Year's, and the number 1 clip was, as many expected, the affair that no one saw coming.
Yeah.
Insane Beer League Hotline story about an affair in the team. Well, we have been contacted by the cuckold himself. Absolute beauty of a man.
That's what I live for, dude.
Absolute beauty of a man sent us a message to break down what actually happened and what is currently going on. Mm-hmm. So, let me read you guys this message. So the guy who sent this in is a teammate of ours who moved away and didn't know the full story. Came back and met me and was given bits and pieces of the story. The full story is a bit more fucked up. Long, and because divorce proceedings are still going on, I have to keep some stuff confidential until after. I had been married only a few years. One of my teammates and now best friends owns a business, and I started to help with it. This is where my wife and I met the team. Well, my ex-wife.
So hold on. He was married. his buddy owns a business.
Yeah.
He starts to help with it, and that's where he meets
The team.
the girl. The team. Yeah,
he is married at this point.
Yep.
So my ex-wife, myself, and the vet all become good friends and hung out often after that. Leading up to the season, they had an extra sub spot. I have loved the game since I was young, but never played and hadn't skated in over 10 years. The vet made a hard push out of nowhere to get me to come out and play. Needless to say, I accepted and ended up loving it. Fast forward after having multiple nights out with the team, and also just the vet, my ex, and myself. I get told by my wife, the vet and her are going to a concert for an artist they both like. I had to work, so no big deal, and I said I'd meet them at the bar after. I showed up to the bar early and watched them walk down the street hand in hand, walking from the concert venue to the bar. Obviously, I'm crushed, and later that night, after we had all got to our respective homes, I messaged the guy to ask what was going on and that I wanted to talk just us. He tells me nothing is, and then proceeds to tell my ex I messaged him. Next morning, I wake up to a pissed-off wife right before my first game with the team. I'm told to keep my mouth shut, and we'll discuss it later. I should probably mention to you guys...
Before you keep going, Dan, how do you feel about when your wife goes, I'm going to a concert with our buddy? I think I'd be like, sure.
Yes, it depends to me, honestly, on how long I've been playing with this now. But like, it sounds like this fucking guy, this vet,
they're all boys.
Is like hammering you. Come join. Like we're all going out. He says after multiple nights out.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely fine.
So
I'm like, ahead. Yeah, go to the concert.
I'm not even sure I'm rattled when I see them holding hands. Because I just assume they're just friends.
It's
a friend handhold.
You are a buffoon, sir. A buffoon. Like the second I see hand holding, I'm like, oh, so
it's a friend
you are a fraud and a rat who has been just trying to get close to me so you can get close to my
But then you go, hey, bro, what happened? And he goes, nothing.
What did you think he was going to say?
He's going to say, he'd tell you the truth. He's your friend.
Absolutely insane. All right, getting back into it. I finally told one of my friends who could tell I was spiraling. During this time, we are all still playing on the same team. She's showing up wearing his jersey, and I am playing or coaching depending on if I'm needed that night. November hits, and everyone finds out and knows what's going on after putting 2 and 2 together. They want to kick him off, and I'm the one that tells them to wait. Around this time last year, me and her have already agreed to split as of end of November. The captain messages him, wanting him to explain his side. He reads it and doesn't respond for multiple days while my ex is messaging me, asking what he should say to stay on the team. He ends up saying he thinks it's best if he leaves and then goes ghost. Since that day, I have been on the team, traveled with these brothers, and this family has been my absolute rock since, helping me through one of the most difficult times of my life. We won our league last year.
Come on.
I now have moved up to main roster, and the vet has not played since leaving the team, nor has he tried to get on any team since, to our knowledge. So the vet and the team knew I was married for the most part, and I was basically recruited by the vet seemingly so he could get closer to my wife.
Dude.
By the way, he mentions at one point, like this was kind of an aside.
A postscript.
He goes, when we got the message, it was 6 months after it all started.
Empty netters.
Like when we first read it, the first initial one.
Yeah.
And he says, so last September to October, I told no one on the team, while she then proceeded to stay multiple nights at this guy's place and go on trips with him.
Dude. So here's...
do you remember what we said in our Beer League Hotline?
We said that the vet should stay. Because we were like, it'd be awkward to have this new guy being like, hey, remember when we kicked our buddy off the team and he's banging your wife?
Yes, dude. And the person who sent it in, as our man said, what should we call him? Cal.
Yeah.
Crazy Stupid Love. Yep. Cal said in the beginning, he was like, you the guy who messaged you didn't know the full story. Because in that message, we were like, the vet didn't know.
He said that. He said the vet didn't know if the new guy was married and that was his wife. Not only did he know, dude.
He's the biggest scumbag on earth.
Time. And dude, to hear, remember we were joking like, oh, it'd be awkward to keep the new guy. To hear that not only did they keep the new guy, but that team has saved him.
Dude.
Just from like what a horrible stretch in his life, and the team, the boys, the hockey locker room has been his saving grace. Fires me up so much.
Oh, dude, it fires me up to no end. And it just cannot be stated enough. The vet and this man's ex-wife should burn in hell.
Dude.
You are two of the worst people known to man. Just absolute bottom of the barrel scum. pond scum human beings. This vet recruits this guy to swoop in on his wife, and this fucking lady, first of all, cheats on your husband in just so openly.
Yeah.
Then starts showing up to games wearing this guy's jersey.
Dude,
you are trash,
that one
lady.
kills me.
You are the biggest piece of trash I've ever heard, the both of you. I'm glad that you're together so you can go live off in trash land and be awful human beings together. Thank God that this guy got out of this marriage, because that is one of the worst people on planet Earth. But the two of them are just rats, dude.
I wanted the two dudes to be D partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted.
That's what I wanted, dude. Bro, I die at the they put 2 and 2 together when she's wearing the other dude's fucking jersey.
And like they're going on trips together. They're spending the night together.
Thinking about
Weird that your wife's wearing homeboy's jersey. Yeah, I would hope you guys put 2 and 2
Is it
together.
like even washed? It's a beer league jersey, dude. It's disgusting.
Truly, well, I mean, that was the
killed me.
craziest beer league hotline we've ever received.
I love this. I love Cal, dude. I love Cal.
And now to find out the real story, thank God that vet's out off the team and out of the league.
Dude, I hope he never plays
You do
again.
not deserve beer league.
You know
You,
how in
son of a
300, you know how in
bitch.
300 they say, I hope you live forever.
Yeah.
I hope he never plays beer league again.
Oh, never.
That's how I feel. And that's a fate worse
Yeah.
than death.
And you know what? I'm not really into outing people, but Cal and then other, because we've received multiple DMs from members of this
Yeah.
team. Tell us this guy's name.
Yeah. What's his name, Cal?
I want to blacklist this guy so the entire world knows that this man will literally try to steal wives
Yeah.
from beer league teammates. Shame on you, sir.
May you never skate again.
Ever. Scumbag.
Wow. All right, Wags, let's do the new beer league hotline.
One guy on our team likes to dip during the game. Kind of a beauty move. But my issue is he spits all over the bench and the ice. It's disgusting. One game I called him out and asked him to bring a spitter to the bench to respect the rink staff. And he said he doesn't give a fuck about them. It made my blood boil. He didn't play this past season because he broke his collarbone mountain biking. Idiot. But I recently ran into him at the gym. He tells me he's almost better and is coming back for the spring season. If he does come back and continues to spit all over the bench, how do I handle this?
Damn, dude. This guy's an asshole.
I don't know if you can be spitting on the ice, Dan.
Well, you certainly can't spit on the ice.
He is spitting on the ice.
Well, I think it was the bench. Was the
No,
I
dude.
mean, it's
Spits
both.
all over the bench and the ice.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ice is less bad. You're an idiot, dude.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
It gets snowed up. It's still gross, but it's not
yeah.
that. Like if you fall in it, that sucks.
Yep.
But the bench is worse because now the whole bench stinks like your dip spit.
Yeah.
The easy solution here is Zin. Like get the guy a Zin.
Get the guy. He doesn't like Zin, Dan. He's a long cut.
I know,
He's
but
a long
if you
cut
buy
winter
it,
green.
if that's the compromise, it's bullshit. But like if that's the compromise, you just give him a Zin 10. You're like, dude, can you just Zin during the games? Like, please, I don't want your spit all over the bench. I think the mistake, or not mistake, because he should have respected the rink staff.
Yeah, that's
but
bullshit.
Make it more personal. Be like, hey, dude, it bums me out. I don't like the smell.
Ooh, okay.
It's gross. Like it grosses me out. Can you stop spitting on the bench? And if he still doesn't say no, call his ass out, dude.
What if he goes, I don't give a fuck about you or the team?
That's what I'm saying. Call his ass. I'd be like, this, fuck you. Get off the team.
And he goes, no, I pay good money to be here.
Then you take a vote, dude.
Oh, shit. Now we are voting on things?
If someone is doing something wrong, yes.
Okay. Dan, I have a thought.
Okay.
This behavior, and more importantly, his response is the
Yes.
response of a child.
Correct.
And when I need children of my friends to do tasks that I know they're not going to want to do, I just kind of try to make it a game. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe if you went like this to him, let's say you got like a big Powerade
This is already ridiculous.
and you put a line on it. It's empty, right? And then you put a line on it that you're like, dude, do you think you could get more
Fill
than
this.
Yeah, can you get past the line in one beer league game and like make it a tough line so like he doesn't quite get there first game? And he's like, oh, dude, I'll do it. I'll fucking double deck that shit.
Yeah.
And just make it like spitting into the spitter becomes a game to him. Could you take his childish brain and make him have fun with that and trick him into using the spitter?
I take back what I said. I don't hate this. I thought you were going to say like big buckets where you're like, dude, see if you can spit into that. Because then I'm like, that just gets everywhere even worse. Now we're talking.
We're this talking like a double dare.
You know what you could
type
even
challenge,
do?
dude.
Dude, you could do a full season one.
Yeah,
Get a big,
yeah, dude.
get a big bottle and be like, dude, by the end of the season, let's see if you can fill this.
My roommate in prep school spit into a milk
Yeah.
carton
That's
the
absolutely
entire
heinous.
year and would just pour Listerine into it.
Yeah. I was going to say the fear is that just starts to smell so bad, and like, what if that
Let's
spills?
carry that. Imagine it spilling in your
Imagine
bag.
it spilling. That's a nightmare. So no, it's gotta be a new bottle every game. I love this idea.
And I'll bring it. And
Gamify it.
And dude, I'll put the line in a different place each time. So he's like, 1 week he's like, oh, I'm gonna get that one easy.
Yeah.
1 week he's like, that line's ridiculous. I'll never get that.
Gamify it. I
dude.
like it. But again, dude, when you're
Cleanest bench in the
dipping,
league.
when you gotta spit, you gotta spit. Like if he's ripping around on the ice and he's just gotta.
I'll hold it out. It's like a broken stick.
No, you won't.
Hold it out. He comes by.
I respect your efforts, but no, you won't.
I will.
He's on the far side of the ice, idiot. Like
He's gonna come over, dude.
No,
Like a broken stick.
then we're compromising the team.
While respecting the rink
No,
staff.
Zin is the answer here. Or you know what? Lucy is the answer here.
Yeah, Lucy.
Lucy is the
Yes,
answer here.
Dan.
We gotta Lucy him. Hit us up, dude. If he's down for some Lucy's,
Yeah,
we'll give
actually,
you
dude.
We'll give you our promo code. You can make some money, save some money, and get some delicious Lucy's.
We will send him Lucy.
Lucy is the answer here. But like tobacco on the bench, if you're spitting on the bench, is crazy, dude. So
Dude,
like my
if someone
guy,
spit on the ice in front of me at a face-off, I'd be like,
oh dude, like my guy, metaphorically and literally, clean it up, dude. Like this is fucking nuts.
oh my god, dude, unbelievable.
Okay, powers rankings. A lot of stuff to consider. A lot of good teams. A lot of good teams on bit of skids.
Yep.
But I think we can agree.
I have a slam dunk one.
Absolute lock one.
And it's probably like the biggest slam dunk one I've had since the Jets were like 15-1.
Okay.
'Cause you and I have been kind of disagreeing on like the Jets, or excuse me, the Caps and the Wild.
Yeah.
Since the Jets were 15-1, this is my slam dunk best team in the league right now. It's not even close.
Tell me.
Vegas Golden Knights.
Absolutely.
Fucking wagoon.
A wagoon, a fucking crab wagoon.
Yeah, dude.
Unbelievable how good this team is. And full stop.
Full stop. Enough said. Going to the cup. Going to be a fun cup. Back to Vegas.
We've been talking about the Cappies, but 5-4-1 in their last 10. I kind of like the Jets more than them. And you know who I like even more than that?
Who?
It's the Kings. I also like the Leafs.
Kings. Dude, the Leafs are so interesting.
The Leafs
man.
are nasty.
What about the Oilers?
Oilers stink, dude.
Dude, no, you're high, bro.
They're beating up
Oilers,
on bad
the
teams.
Oilers,
No, they're
the
sick.
Stars, and the Kings and the Leafs are all playing really well. So are the Avs, actually.
Oh,
But Avs can't be two.
no, but Avs have to be in my top 5.
I know. They might
Avs have to be in my top 5. Oil have to be in my top 5. Leafs have to be in my top 5, and then I think the Kings and the Jets probably. Like I think I'm not.
No, but you didn't. You forgot Vegas. You're out of spots.
Well, I know. I'm saying we have to pick 4 of those 5.
Oh yeah, and the Caps.
No, I don't know if I have to pick the Caps.
Wow.
5-4-1, dude. They've lost some bad games.
I know. But Ovi's back. They did so well without Ovi.
I know.
Okay, so 2. Yeah, maybe it is.
It's
Jets?
interesting. Like the Stars have the second, tied with the Oilers with the second best, and the Avs actually. I think it might be the Avs.
It's at 2.
Maybe.
No.
Are you kidding me, dude? Look at Nate. Like they're buzzing.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You
But
think the Avs are the second best
They've
team
got
in the league
goalie
right now?
issues again. All of a sudden,
The
like
Jets are good. So Jets, Wild, Kings, Leafs, Oilers, Avs.
yeah.
You're deading the Stars.
No. Stars are
So
absolutely.
those 7, we need to kill 3 of those 7.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna take the Wild out.
Yeah.
How about that?
I'm okay. I didn't even have them in 5-5. Like they've been skidding a bit.
Okay, so
Krill's hurt.
Give me the Avs. Dude.
Now we're talking.
Vegas Avs.
Vegas
second best team in the
Avs.
league. Oh, with the goalie problems though.
And then I like Leafs here, dude.
Actually, I'm going. Give me Leafs too. Give me Leafs too.
Leafs
Vegas
2.
Leafs.
Avs.
Avs.
Oilers.
Oilers
And now it's Jets or Kings
or Stars.
or Stars. Stars have kind of been pissing me off. I want to go Kings here.
Jets and Wild out. And Stars.
The Jets out is tough.
They're the second best or third best winning percentage in the league. But
It's
dude,
absolutely insane.
the Jets.
And this is our powers ranking.
These are the 5 best teams in the league for us right now.
Right now.
Vegas, Toronto, Colorado,
Oil.
Edmonton, Kings.
Give me Kings. I love it.
Wow, dude.
Brutal for the Jets. What's not brutal for the Jets is in our starting 6.
Come on.
We're starting off left wing Kyle Connor. Hasn't been on the league all year. Unbelievable.
Yep. First time on it.
He has 5 points in his last 5, but 52 points on the year, only 7 behind Draisaitl, 22 goals, 1 behind Moose. Him and Scheifele absolutely lighting it up. Kyle Connor, you have been banging this drum for 4 years.
50 goal scorer.
He is a 50-goal scorer. He is an elite player and is a huge reason why they are one of the best teams in the league. Unfortunately, not on our powers right now.
I pray that they make a run this year just because it would be really fun. I say that now, but like obviously they're going to get matched up in the first round with someone I love, and I'm going to be so pissed. But he just feels like a guy, because they've just stalled in the playoffs.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons, but he just feels like a guy that could literally drag an underperforming Jets team because they just like having playoff hiccups through the first round, because he is like, I'll have 14 points in this first round 7-game series. And I'm like, dude, you are a psychopath. Center. First one of these in 2025. We're just going to reset, and we had to go Nate. He's starting to put some distance between himself and everyone else in the Art Ross race. 65 points, only 14 goals, 51 assists, Dan, on January 6th.
Yeah.
That's actually fucking batshit insane.
Dude, it's like I don't even understand what's going on.
If he's going to get 100, right, this year? Like, he got 100 assists this year.
Yeah, he's cooking to do so.
So if he starts scoring, like he had 50 tucks last year?
Yeah.
Right? If he has
50 and 100.
50. Oh no, he won't do that, but I'm like, if he starts getting on that 50
Are you sure?
Scoring,
Are you sure?
Yeah, fuck. But if he starts getting on that 50 goal scorer pace,
yeah.
Right? So like that would be, call it 25 more. So if he finishes with like 40 goals this year and a fucking 100 assists, I'm like, Jesus fuck, dude.
Insane.
What did Connor do like 2 years ago?
Or you mean last year when he had 100 assists?
No.
Or when he popped off for goals?
His points. Like, how many points did
I think
Connor
it was like 138 or something.
153.
Jesus Christ.
64 and 89. So like Nate.
That is so absurd. Like, dude, that is so absurd.
64 and 89.
And that's not even his 100 assist season.
Yeah, the next year he goes 32 and 100.
Unbelievable.
But like Nate could go 40 and 100.
Yeah.
And what did Cooch do last year? Connor 32 and 100. Cooch.
I think Cooch did
what in 100?
30 something. He had 30, or maybe he didn't have 30. I think he did though.
Oh, dude. 44 and 100.
And he didn't win MVP.
He didn't win.
Man, Lightning fans are so right about that.
That is
like, Cooch is just such a motherfucker.
That
so the
insane,
league is like, fuck you, dude. You're not MVP.
44 and 100 to Nate's
44 goals.
Nate went 51 and 89, which is still gas. He only had 4 points less.
Yeah, I know.
But 44
yeah,
and 100
it's not that absurd, but like 44 and 100 is like.
But yeah, like if Nate could go 40 and 100 this year.
Yeah, he could.
That'd be sick.
He could. Coming in at right wing, another first time. We got a first timer here. Mitch Marner, dude. Unbelievable run. 10 points in his last 5 games, including a 5-point night and a 6-4 win over Boston. Leafs are in first in the Atlantic with showing no signs of slowing down. It's fucking crazy, dude. And we talk about it all the time. Imagine this guy walking for free. Dude. Imagine if they get into the playoffs and they lose in the first round or the second round even, and he just walks for free.
Because
guess what?
Points.
Guess what you ain't doing? Trading Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
And can you afford, with the Nylander contract and the Matthews contract, to pay Mitch Marner over $13 million a year? Because that's what he's asking for and what he deserves.
Correct. Oh, certainly what he deserves.
Yeah.
Dude, him having the 4th most points and Moose having the 3rd most points in the league, and both of them potentially just being on different teams for free, is
horrifying.
Because,
dude, this is what's brutal about, like, obviously you could wait to get to UFA, but like, I would not risk it. Like, legitimately, first in the Atlantic, if I'm like this, hey, dude, what's going on here? If he's like, I'm not budging, I'd be like this, well, I'm trading you.
Yeah.
Because, like, this is insane. He will never waive that no move, though.
Correct.
Moose, however, doesn't have that. All right, I'm going to go again because I want to talk about this guy.
Okay.
Left D, Zach Werenski. Unbelievable, dude. 45 points on the year. He's in second, 12 goals on the year. But let me tell you this, dude. A couple days ago, since December 23rd, Werenski was first in the NHL in assists, points, and shots. Norris Trophy season, dude. He's on pace for 92 points and a plus 16 this year on the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Dude, and this was a tough one, Dan, because there's a stat going around that's like from, I want to say it's like from November 25th to Christmas. Quinner had more points than anyone in the league, and also plays left D famously. So those two, and not that like the Norris split sides either,
Yeah.
but like those two are just having a slugfest of a season from that position.
Dude,
and
CP,
it's so sick.
let me tell you this. Offensive rating leaders this season in the NHL. Yeah. Offensive rating. Number 1, Nathan McKinnon. Number 2, Nikita Kucherov. Number 3, Zach Werenski. Behind him is Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. If they make the playoffs,
Bro.
which they won't.
If
they do, we are seeing the first defenseman to win the Hart since Chris Pronger.
No.
Are you crazy?
No.
If Zach Werenski
Dan, I'm telling you right now.
drags...
If Zach Werenski, what does he have, 45 points? He has 12 goals? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 and 33. Dude, 12 and 33. If he
First time in 25 years, dude.
If he finishes the year with
because listen to me. He's on pace for 92 points.
Yeah.
If they make the playoffs, say it with me, which they won't. If they make the playoffs, it means he is still doing these things.
100%.
So it doesn't matter what his points are. He will win the Hart.
No, he won't, dude.
Chris, yes, he will.
Dude, actually, the only reason he might is because Nate is going to go 40 and 100, but they don't get to hang their hat on the 100 assist thing because they fucked 2 dudes who did it last year, and Nate won it last year, so they won't go
back to back.
You can win it again, even though you had a worse season than Pooch did last year, and I didn't give it to him.
Yeah.
So actually, and it all depends on how hurt Krill is.
It will be the most definition of the word most valuable player if they make the playoffs.
Krill, yeah, because
Krill's falling out, dude. He's hurt.
Well, no, but it's not even that. Krill just doesn't have enough assists to get in the point conversation ever. Like Krill, I think could come back and score 60 still, but he's going to go like 60 and 40 for 100.
He'll have 100 points still, which is insane.
Absolutely. And Leon, who I picked preseason, thank you very much.
So did I.
20 and 39 for 50. Yeah, like he doesn't quite have the assists, to be honest with you. That's not true because he got 60 points.
Zach Werenski for Hart, dude. Keep it up. Keep it up, Zach. Keep it up.
That would be gas.
Yeah.
Right D.
We're going to get Zach on the pod here soon, by the way.
Right D, we're going to also keep it simple, just going back to Cale Makar. 49 points in the year, leads all defensemen. 13 goals on the year, leads all defensemen. He's a plus 13. He's playing 25 and a half minutes a game. And don't forget, he was like a minus fucking 100 in the first month of the season. The Avs are hot. He's back. He's a special talent.
Special.
I don't know what else to say.
Another returner in goal, Hellebuck, unbelievable. 2.09 goals against, 927 save percentage. Him and Stolars are at the top of the league right now. He has 5 fucking shutouts.
He had 5 shutouts all of last year.
It's just ridiculous.
He has 5 already.
Unbelievable. All right, let's close out this episode with a classic Empty Netters game. CP, you are on the sticks. What do we got?
We got 2 real, 2 fake.
Shit.
For the first timers of this game, I wish I
had Toff with me on this.
I know. For the first timers of this game, I give Dan 4 hockey players, and 2 of them are made up, and 2 of them are real. And he and you playing along are going to have to try to guess which ones are which.
Give me.
Are you ready?
Give me.
Brad Hewer, a Canadian center, drafted 191st overall in the 1998 NHL draft by the Buffalo Sabres. A prolific scorer for the Calgary Hitmen, he earned WHL Player of the Year in 1999. He played so long in the W that the Sabres released his rights and he signed with the Blue Jackets. He would get 5 games for Columbus, scoring 1 goal and 1 assist before signing with the Canucks. In Vancouver, he played 3 games, recording 1 assist, and then finished his career abroad.
Okay. God, I love this game.
Number 2, Shane McCallum, a Canadian right wing, drafted 172nd in the 1997 NHL draft by the Montreal Canadiens. Shane played college at UMaine, but never saw the ice for the Habs. He was signed by the Islanders, but never played for them either. In 2006, he signed with the Bruins and played 1 game. Then he signed with the Avs, where he saw significant playing time for the next 3 seasons, even recording 11 goals in his second year. He eventually did 1 year with the Preds before hanging them up. Now he coaches college hockey. Number 3.
Do I get to ask where?
No.
Okay.
But I know where.
Okay.
Number 3, DJ King, a Canadian left wing, drafted 190th overall in the 2002 NHL draft by the St. Louis Blues. Was an enforcer in the Western Hockey League before making his debut with the big club in 2006. In the 2007 season, he played 61 games, had 3 goals, 3 assists, and 100 PIMs. Was later traded to the Caps and was out of the league by 2012.
Give me this guy's name again.
DJ King. He now owns a resort in Saskatchewan with his family.
Wow. Special.
Number 4, Jordan Willis, a Canadian goalie, drafted 243 overall in 1993 by the Dallas Stars. After 2 years with the London Knights, he made his NHL debut in 1995. He got in one game against the Edmonton Oilers in relief duty. He played 18 minutes, gave up 1 goal on 14 shots, and received the loss. He never played again, finishing with a career .929 save percentage, which is better than Hasek all time.
Damn, dude. Damn.
Tell me what you want to hear again.
Dude, the never played agains always kill me. Fuck. Give me DJ King one more time.
DJ King, a Canadian left wing, drafted 190th overall in 2002 by the Blues.
Okay.
Was an enforcer in the Western Hockey League before making his debut for the big club in 2006. In 2007, he played 61 games, had 3 goals, 3 assists, and 100 PIMs, was later traded to the Caps, and was out of the league by 2012. He now owns a resort in Saskatchewan with his family.
Okay. Great. I'm going to say Brad Hewer is real because I don't know that name makes sense to be fake. Like, I can't think of you making up Brad Hewer. But I don't know. Sabres, center for the Sabres.
Prolific scorer for the Calgary Hitmen.
Yeah. Prolific, dude.
Prolific. WHL Player of the Year.
That fired me up. I think Brad Hewer is real. I think I'm going to go sandwich here. I think Shane McCallum is fake. A right winger for the Habs. The Habs aren't drafting a Shane McCallum. And then DJ King is fake. I said I'm going to go sandwich. DJ King is fake. And then Jordan Willis, give me real, dude. Those stats were too interesting to be fake. Like, Jordan Willis is real. And dude, you went back to 1993 draft for this fucking guy.
Dude, he got in one game against the Edmonton Oilers in relief. Played 18 minutes, gave up 1 goal on 14 shots, received the loss, never played again.
Like, why can't he get another bid, dude? Like, he put up good numbers.
Okay, so you're going Brad Hewer, real.
Yeah.
Shane McCallum, fake. DJ King, fake. Jordan Willis, real.
I think so.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Okay. Brad Hewer, Canadian center, drafted 191st overall in the 1988 draft by the Buffalo Sabres. Prolific scorer for the Calgary Hitmen. WHL Player of the Year in 1999. Fake.
Fuck! Shit!
Shane McCallum, UMaine legend. Now coaches college hockey. Drafted by the Habs in the 97 draft. Fake.
Dude, when you wouldn't tell me where he coached, I was like...
He coaches at Bowdoin.
Does he actually?
Dude, so
Shane McCallum's actually the coach at Bowdoin right now?
No, but there is a guy, the coach at Bowdoin.
Yeah.
I pulled a lot of his stats
Oh
to create
my God.
Shane McCallum. Like, the coach at Bowdoin played at UMaine.
Oh my God. This is like an Inception level guy. So all the facts about this human are real.
A lot of Shane McCallum is
Real, based off of the Bowdoin coach.
Ben Geet, who coaches at Bowdoin.
Oh my God.
DJ King, Canadian left wing, 190th overall, WHL enforcer, 100 PIMs in 2007. You said fake. DJ King, real.
DJ King's a real guy.
Real guy. 2002 draft pick by the Blues. Blues fans, where you at, dude? I want to hear about DJ King. 61 games in 2007, 3 goals, 3 assists, 100 PIMs.
Shit, dude.
Now owns a resort in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, good for him.
Jordan Willis, Canadian goalie, gave up 1 goal on 14 shots, never played again. You said real. Jordan Willis, real.
Real. Thank God.
Great job, Dan. 929
Wow.
save percentage for Jordan Willis.
Unbelievable, dude.
Hasek, highest all time, 922. Tuukka Rask, second highest all time, 921.
Pretty special.
Jordan Willis.
Jordan Willis.
929.
Legend.
Didn't have enough games to qualify, but 929.
Absolute legend. Fucking holy moly.
Great
All right,
job.
That is Too Real, Too Fake. That is it for us today at the Empty Netters podcast. Quick little note. We are headed to Vail.
Come on.
Headed to Vail this weekend to take on the Vail Yeti in a 2-game round robin. We're going to be doing some skiing, some hockey. Make sure to tune into our Instagram. We're going to be posting so much shit from that tournament with the boys. We got the Empty Netters teams with the sweaters. We got some great friends, including Johnny Laz, joining and playing on the team. It's going to be an unreal time. Make sure you tune into all of that content. And a huge shout out to the Veil Yeti for hosting us. Cannot wait. Please don't hurt us. Please don't check us too hard.
Yeah, dude.
My body can't take it.
I actually messaged the guy that runs the Veil team and told him that strict Engineers policy is no back checking.
Yeah.
And he said they will agree for the weekend. So that is much appreciated.
Much appreciated.
Yep.
So make sure you tune into the IG. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube so you make sure not to miss any of that type of content. Have a blast watching all of that until we see you next time.
Skate hard.